I just really great. I'm, got it.
Oh, except I didn't unmute myself. Hello, everyone.
Classic.
And
Classic.
well, I muted you guys though.
Welcome to
Welcome
Twitch.
to Polaris.
I'm sure no one has ever done that in the history of a Twitch stream except
Never.
this
No,
one.
no, no, no.
Lavender's face is just like, mm.
Like every streamer except for us, they were born perfect.
That's
Like
true.
OBS and XSplit never crash. The scene transitions are always perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the audio balances is like
Spot
crystal
on
clear.
every time.
Yeah, like just
What I like is on Tuesday when I was streaming, I thought I was muted and I was clearing my throat a whole bunch, and then I'm like, oh shit, hi guys.
Oh
The
no.
chat is just like full of lulls, and I'm like, mute.
yeah, I was noticing that my mute button didn't work during my stream last Sunday.
Oh no.
That's never good.
Oof.
Okay, it's working now, which is ironic because it just means I'll mute myself 3 times on accident, but
Magic.
That's always
that's
fun.
magic.
It's always fun. I love muting myself on accident.
Or on purpose and then forgetting to unmute. I've been doing that a lot. Thick thing and muting so I can cough or whatever and not make everyone grossed out. And then I'll just start talking and then realize like 2 minutes later, oh shit, I've been muted this whole time.
Yep. That is definitely something that I have been guilty of.
I mean, everyone's been there.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty easy to do, unfortunately.
It's nice though when you're playing like a thinky game and people are like, "No, she's just focusing real hard." I'm like, "Yep, that's totally what happened."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely it right there.
Yeah, I
Mistake.
didn't forget to unmute. It's fine. You got it. You got it. I was just thinking real hard.
Streamers making mistakes is just fan fiction. It's not canon. The real canon is streamers are perfect every time, and I won't take these fan theories in my streamer anime.
Yeah, it's like when chat are like, no, it's just this. Like you're like the GM with players giving you ideas. Yeah, that's totally how that works now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing that as GM. That's one of my favorite
It's
things.
my bread and butter. It's like I don't plan anything. You guys just figure it all out, and then, yep, that's how it works.
Thank you so much for the sub, Golden, and I can't believe that's 12 months. Wow. I didn't...
Yeah.
You've had your sub button for at least 12 months. That's what it means.
Yeah, that's sweet. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Sorry to interrupt your story there, but yeah, bread and butter, exactly.
I was basically done anyway, and subs are important. Worth interrupting.
They are.
Especially
They
subs
are.
to Kelsa.
Yeah.
Aw, thank you.
Where can I sub to you, Dark Lavender Void?
I need to stream more to get affiliate, and then.
Do you have a Patreon yet?
Oh yeah, I've had a Patreon for
Yeah,
a long time.
yeah. I was gonna say like you advertise your.
There you go. Now you figured out how to take my segue.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, I heard you're making a game or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Have you heard that I am making a lot of progress on it, and I'm basically like, I'm like starting, or I'm either starting the week or I'm halfway through the week, where I'm like solidifying everything so that I can actually write the rules down, because otherwise everything just, it's like a cyclone, and then everything just like tears itself up as soon as I like write everything out, and that's kind of a nightmare. So I just have to wait for all the ideas to settle first. So like at the end of this week I can finally start writing down rules, and then I'm going to be doing a bunch of video editing and 3D modeling and music writing because I'm going to make a bunch of videos for each part of the game, and then that'll get you primed for everything, and then there'll be reference sheets that you use once you understand like the broad strokes of the game.
I'm just imagining
That's really cool.
you
Yeah.
using the rules of your game as like the texture of a 3D model, and then like animating
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
just the kind of meta that would go into one of Lavender's games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm really pleased about, since we have the alpha, like 3/4 of the alpha group here. I found a way to throw the monoliths back in after 2 years or so,
Interesting.
and now I actually know where the
Nice.
monoliths come from,
Ooh,
where I didn't before, and now I do.
is
I
that
don't know
super
what any
secret?
of this means. When are we gonna play your game? I've never played it. I've just
Yeah.
heard
After
stories.
we play Firebrands.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're ready for it. If you're not, we obviously could wait. But
Yeah, I gotta get some things set up first and write everything down and finish the Roll20 sheets.
yeah,
but
so
after
don't
that,
rush. I want to.
I
Is all I'm saying.
I want to play with you too.
That's all right. There's plenty of games to play. Well, we should
There
play
are.
Firebrands next because my real life right now is I just have things I gotta get done next month.
Yeah.
I need to do those.
I am always down for Firebrands. Don't worry.
Same
Okay.
here. I
Yeah.
haven't played Firebrands in. How long have I played in Firebrands?
Probably like a year.
That's what I was thinking too. I think I
The
played
last-
The King is Dead fairly recently, like, because that was when I was
Yeah.
streaming from the downstairs mudroom.
Have you played Firebrands since The King is Dead came out?
I feel like I haven't, and if I have, I haven't done it on stream.
Well,
Were-
that's
were you in
too
the
long.
group-
That's way too long, Adam.
Were you in the group? I know we did like a reunion of the Love and Banter Filled cast, but I feel like you were there for some reason.
I feel like I was there too. Yes, because I was there and I was like, it's basically everyone. And then I was like, everybody go back, watch Love and Banterville. It was inspired my game Mortally Bankrupt, and that was my shout out for that episode. I remember now.
Okay, yeah, I was pretty sure you were there, and I'm like, no, you played it. You were there. I mean, that
Yeah.
was a while ago, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still true. It's the reason why the episodes run about 2 hours long, because Love and Banterville had a shorter format.
that was so good too. I loved how short it was. It was just like it was like a perfect little bite
Hmm.
of creative goodness, and I loved
Mhm.
it.
There are so many other people that just like me have issues with like the 4 hour block.
Hmm.
It's such
Like-
a long time, and especially with like trying to get people to set that time aside to play a game, much less
Mhm.
than watch it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that the 3 hours we've been playing in this time slot has been very good. It's
Yes.
a little bit more than the 2 hours from that was Love and Pantherville, where we had to be like right on there, but definitely not that 4 hours. So
I'm a huge nerd. I could roleplay for like 12 hours straight. But
Oh,
yeah,
I
sure.
I
did that
mean,
once, actually.
I
did that.
have,
I don't want to do it again.
yeah. Unfortunately, with
Yeah. Same.
all the other things I have going on in my life,
But like, when I go to a convention to like a one shot, I think like 6 to
yeah.
8 hours is perfect
mhm.
I
for
did-
like one
a
story.
convention one shot, yeah.
I did a game a couple of Sundays ago, and we literally went for 11 hours.
Nice.
No, everyone was tired. Some of them were from the UK, and it was like 3 a.m. for them, and they
Mm.
had like a meeting in the morning. It was a whole thing. I don't want
I
to do
used to play with Australians that would wake up at 1 a.m.
no.
I played with a wonderful lady from Japan. She would get up at 6 a.m. She'd be
Wow.
having her morning tea, and then we'd get going.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Amazing.
Well, why don't
There's so
we?
many amazing people, but you gotta wake up at midnight to
No.
play with them.
I'm not doing that.
Exactly.
I love you, but I'm going to bed.
Well, let's get on with the game.
All right.
So, Polaris is a pretty interesting RPG, where decisions are not made with dice; they are made with bets. Essentially, bets and bargains.
Spa.
Yes. And it has this wonderful little ritual phrase that we're supposed to read, but I forgot to pull up my PDF if anyone happens to have it handy and can get to it first.
It's in the thing.
Oh.
Long ago, the people were dying at the end of the world. That's the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we light a candle.
That's it. Thank you.
Golden has transmogrified themselves into a candle again.
It's an important part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a candle.
Now we have to go to the Polaris PDF and see what we do when we're short one player, because that's a thing in the PDF that I read one time.
It is.
Yeah.
But we don't really need to do that because even as a candle, Golden could play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I am playing as nobody and nothing,
Well, you have
surrounded by
forgotten
no
everything,
one.
so it's fine.
Yeah.
Kelsa, I need you to roll experience twice.
Yes, thank you. I will roll experience twice. Boop. What did I roll? What did I
You
roll?
got one.
Ooh, I did.
Ooh.
And that came first. So
Well,
that's
either way, you would go down with a 1.
Yeah,
You'd
that's
have to.
true.
And then you get a refresh.
Oh, come on. It doesn't want to move.
Let me zoom in. I'll help.
Thank you.
Are you a GM?
I am. It keeps resizing instead of moving.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
I'm
just
moving.
deleted my name because it's more appropriate.
I'm
All
moving
right.
your X's off so you have your refresh.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Because at the end of last session, before Lavenker could assign experience for me, they disconnected. So
Everything broke, yeah.
everything broke forever, and including Golden.
Yep.
I literally almost died.
Yeah. Also, hello to my cat. She's purring into the microphone again.
She just wants to roleplay.
She does.
So, Lavender, do you want to explain why Kelso's rolling XP? What we decided?
Yes. Let me take a look up through our...
In Polaris, you roll experience when your knight is it callous? Attacks the people.
Shows hatred for the people.
Shows hatred for the people. Yeah.
Shows sympathy for the mistaken, which is like the demons, and
Yeah.
it's complicated. And then shows like apathy or it's in
Yeah, there
I
are.
can't look at it because there's a cat.
callousness, cynicism, or apathy. Hatred
Yeah.
of the people, sympathy for the mistaken, callousness, cynicism, or apathy. Whenever that happens, must be rolled.
I'm giving her experience because she has a title where she's the March Lord, and she oversees Southreach. And there was a time where she was frozen in a block of ice for several weeks, I'm thinking.
It's some amount of time.
Yeah. And in that interim, sun worship, which in Polaris is a big, it's basically like Satan, like hate and
It's like
murder.
devil worship, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But still, Kelsa's character is held up to this really high standard. So when she comes back to Southreach, she wants to kill the Sun Worshippers, rightfully so. But there's still the people of the North Pole, and that's not what you're supposed to do as a Knight of the Order of Stars. So that's callousness or cynicism. So I told her to mark one for that. And then also yeah, I'm saying basically that, but like on two different
Yeah,
vectors.
because hatred of the people is in there, and also callousness. Like it's a callous thing to do that shows
Yeah.
hatred of the people. So I think that's
Yeah, it's like thinking about it and then justifying it as two separate things.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Like, exactly. I mean, she believes that she's the only true knight left. I mean, the rest of you all are encouraging this sun worship.
I mean, I like how you brought back a fucking plague as a true knight. You're like, no, we don't talk about that
That's
part.
not important. That's not important. That's not important.
So good.
So as we had discussed earlier, that had been my scene.
Yeah.
Which means that it is Lavender's chance to.
It is my turn, but do I play as my heart or as
I
think I play as my heart because then that
I
would
think you
kind of
can
be
do either.
Okay.
I know you skipped a scene playing You're Mistaken because Kelsa was frozen in ice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's totally up to you what you want to play.
That's fair. I think since we just did a scene, and it's been a week, I want to switch over to Microscopium.
I think that's a good thing to do too.
No, it's totally cool.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
encourage this.
Sure. Where was Microscopium at last time? I was about to take my kids.
You were trying really hard to get to the Sun Temple.
Because your kids had been plaguified, yeah.
Oh, I remember now. Oh, you're so good.
And so it was that Microscopium found the temple to the sun, and with no other choice, the children that he was charged with care of, having fallen ill, and like the illness having progressed to such a degree that the blight of the Sun Temple is just an afterthought. I enter the Sun Temple with a little thought.
All right. As you're entering the Sun Temple, I'll take Rigel.
Sure.
Rigel's mine now too.
Cool.
Rigel pulls on your. You have like a cape or a shirt or some kind of tunic, I assume. And she's pulling on it.
Yeah, I think we described this before. I think I have like a suit underneath like a big fur coat.
Yeah, so he's putting on your coat.
Yeah. What is it?
Do you turn around?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to him.
All right. He says, Microscopium, what's going on? I don't understand. And as you look at him and the other children, you just can't help but think how much they remind you of their father. like the way they look is reminding you the way he looks and how much you hated the way he looked. Everything he did seemed to have a sneer that was mocking you.
If you look around you, we are here.
Oh, where is here?
The place all of us will find our treatment from this horrible plague.
All right. So I'm giving you back Rigel and Capella.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
A generous mistake.
But you still hate these kids.
But only if I scour this temple and I find the remedy.
But only if you can't bring yourself to use it on the children.
Hmm. Hmm. Let me take a look at my themes.
You have some of those.
I do have some of those.
Which will you turn to?
I'm going to say you ask far too much, and I'm going to tick Knight of the Order of Stars. Being callous to these children is not the way.
Mm.
And
But only if there's not enough
thank you.
for you.
But only if I develop an immunity to the plague.
But only if No, I think that's good. And so it was.
And so it was. And that was how it happened.
That was how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And moons and stars.
And moons wept.
As the moons wept and stars watched.
Yeah, there we go. Just copy pasta that shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
I was like, and moon and stars. That's all I remember.
And moon and stars, and moon and stars. Okay. I'm
So,
just fixing the
XP
cams because I
or
figured it out.
microscope?
Yeah.
I can forecast me easily getting one. I don't know about one.
Look at this thing again.
I mean, I can definitely see one.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you.
I'm starting to develop resentment for these kids.
Yeah,
That
their
much can't
hatred
be argued
of
with.
the people And also give you apathy because you used up all of the cure. There's none left for anybody else.
I mean, to be fair, with the temple destroyed, it was not going to last anyway. I mean, I think that's what enabled you to use it all up, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's fair. All right, let's get those 4s so you can die or
Yeah, you probably should have asked for death in that scene.
Actually, yeah, you could have. That could have been. Yeah, well.
I mean, okay, so you get a refresh and 1 more weariness.
And that's
and that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's you becoming a demon.
Amazing.
So we can do one more scene with you as we show your fall, or we can just take out Microscopium now and you appear in other people's scenes as a demon.
I just gotta say, now we know why I'm immune to the plague.
Yeah, because you're a demon.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I am literally a corrupt politician.
You are. That's funny.
That's kind of redundant.
It just took this long for him to figure it out.
This is so good.
I gotta remember what Aqualay was up to. I don't remember.
Mm.
The last time we saw Aqualay was when she melted the block of ice that Tegame was in.
Oh, she didn't do that.
No?
No,
Who
it
did
just
do that?
melted once the time came.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember Aquila and Shara talking a lot.
Oh, she brought the flower back.
Mm.
And then they had to
Right.
put it in this temple because it was the only place that it would bloom,
Mm-hmm.
with the knowledge that if it
yeah.
ever stopped blooming, the plague would come back.
Right.
So yeah, I guess the flower has stopped blooming.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, it's gone now. I mean, Microscopium destroyed the flower using it up. All right, so what it would be?
And I ruined that temple. I'm not
Yeah,
even sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine.
So yeah, now it's your turn. All your great
All my
actions have
hard
been
work
undone.
has been destroyed by my other fellow knights. It's fine. It's fine.
The world is crumbling. All hope is lost. But you haven't given in yet.
No, I haven't. I still even have my zeal. I'm not even weary yet.
Yeah. You still have hope somehow.
So what
Somehow.
would a knight that still has hope try to do to save the world?
If I were you, I would sing a song.
I need to figure out a scene. Moons, suggestions for a scene that I could potentially do for Aqualay?
Epic monologue / musical.
I am not one of your moons, but I do have a suggestion.
You stay out of this, Mistaken.
I do remember that key phrase. Get behind me, Satan.
It's a good one.
You only want what's bad for me. Zip it.
Musical scene with your phoenix that gives you icy wings.
I mean, I got icy wings.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, you know what?
Is it a happy song or a sad song?
And so it was that Aqualay journeyed far from the remnants, through the wastelands and beyond, climbing the tallest snow-capped mountain, where she could hear Phoenix singing in her heart. Phoenix, are you there?
Of course I am, and I always have, and I am always watching over you.
Why do you watch over me?
Because I am here to keep you on the path of your destiny as a knight, Order of the Stars or otherwise.
Otherwise? What do you mean otherwise?
The Order of the Stars is not the only order, but although it is the biggest. If you were to chase a different path, I would follow you there as well. I am not bound to the Order of Stars.
Oh yeah. You know what? That sounds like a good time for me to take control of Phoenix.
Bye, Phoenix.
Bye-bye.
I'm not.
If not the Knight of the Stars, then who?
Have you not wondered if there were other orders out there, other knights, other people to protect?
I had not.
No, of course you haven't. But I have been here by your side, having come from them.
From who?
And I think at this point, the Phoenix, like, flies out and goes from being, like, an ice phoenix to being a fire phoenix and, like, explodes into flame.
Aqualade, like, stumbles back, alarmed.
Yeah. Well?
What are you?
I am of the light.
The sunlight.
Fire that burns in all of us.
The sunlight.
It kind of cocks its head in, like, a bird-like fashion that could mean yes, it could mean no, and it could mean it doesn't know what you're talking about. So, you've trusted me for all of this time, and I have never let you down or failed you. Does this make such a difference now?
There are many who I have trusted, who I have seen do horrible things.
I am not one of them. I know. I have watched your heart be broken one too many times. And I'm not here to put you through that. But I know the knights, the entire Order of the Stars, has broken your heart too.
They can still be saved.
And if you're wrong, do you have the heart to do what must be done?
I don't even know what that is anymore. What must be done, what you speak of. All I know is that these are my people, and they are suffering.
As are my people. all people are people, Aquile. Is the suffering of one worth more than the suffering of another?
We all have our own burdens to bear. If your people need your help, then you must go to them, and I must to mine. You don't have to stay with me. I appreciate the help that you have given me, but if this sacrifice is too much, I will not ask that you continue.
I don't think that I alone could make the difference.
I cannot turn my back on my people. You know this. If you have been with me this long and you think that I will betray them or abandon them, then you know me nothing at all.
Then why are we here? So far beyond your people's lands.
Because I don't know how to help them. I thought perhaps talking to you, but you asked me to turn my back on them. So the only thing is that I must go back. I must
ask
do what
you
I can from there.
to turn to face another people. You're
And leave
already
mine behind.
There's nothing to hold you there. And here in the middle of nowhere, it's serving no one.
You're right. And then wings of frost sprout from her back and she leaps off the mountain.
Okay. The phoenix calls after you, and starts to follow, leaping off of the cliff as well, and says, "Do not think you can escape me with my own gift."
These wings are mine, and I do not escape you. I return to my people. Come with me if you like, or be gone, but I will go back home.
I will come. I said before, I am always with you, and I will not break my word, just as I will not break your heart. Accept my help when we arrive, and I will help to end the suffering for your people.
Aquile nods, and her wings spur her faster, and she arrives home safely.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
but that was close. No.
I gotta give you something to work with. It's fine.
You arrive home safely, but only if everyone sees you arriving with the flaming phoenix.
How do I get out of this?
So this is it. This is the price you cannot pay.
I mean, it's a price I cannot pay. There may be others.
Well, you can tell me that I ask far too much.
Yeah, but what do I tick? Is the question. That's how do I
mean,
get
there's a couple of different things you could tick there.
You know what? I'm gonna say you ask far too much. I'm gonna click my travel mirror. Because I realize that I'm way too far away from home and that I can't just use my wings of frost, so I have to use my travel mirror. And so Phoenix has to kind of go back inside me so we can go together. And so we arrive discreetly, probably.
So, using your travel mirror, you have to ask Phoenix to go back inside of you. And so you can do that to arrive safely, but only if you are like scarred or marked. There's a very obvious like flame image on your body.
Yeah, that's okay. Yep.
Cool.
That's how it happened.
That's how it happened.
And so it was.
So it was. All right. Brings us back around to Golden.
All right.
Back around to XP.
Oh, yeah. XP.
I can't go first because I'm the full moon.
I know, that's where I struggle too. Just saying.
As the stars wept.
And the moon's wept.
Everyone's weeping.
Everybody's weeping. Everybody's weeping.
Everybody's got bleary eyes, but they're trying real hard to watch.
Yeah.
So I am going to say 1 XP from what Phoenix literally brought up and mentioned, which was that the fact that you came out here to nowhere in the first place.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
Come on, get that one.
I'm waiting. No, refresh. Oh well.
It's so hard to get weary.
It is. It really is.
I'm really glad though that we got to see someone fall to stuff.
Yes. Good. Golden, would you like to frame a scene for
Of course.
Where did your name go?
I deleted it.
It was Ein, but he doesn't remember his name.
Right.
And so it was that nobody was surrounded by nothing.
Right.
But death could not come. And so the fever faded and the disease left his unconscious form.
But only if. It left him weak and slightly mad.
And so it was. And laying there, his wounds began to heal as time passed. Until the stars watching pierced the nothingness with their light and brought with fresh air for him to breathe. And in their glory, the stars transformed his robes into shining armor.
But only if in the armor we see the reflection of the auroras.
I can't remember what was with the auroras.
They were trapped beneath the ice.
Then we shot them out of the ice with the love laser on the moon.
And so, yeah, your armor has auroras in it.
Okay.
It's a thing. It makes
But only if I can use the auroras as my weapons.
um,
That's
but
too
only if you don't really control them.
cool. Better.
But only if I choose when to release them.
But only if once you call upon them, you don't really know what's gonna happen.
But only if that will be bad for any mistaken nearby.
But only if it's worse for you and the people.
And so it was.
Nice.
And nobody slowly came to be confronted with the nothing. But the stars in the sky were glowing.
But only if
And
the sun was also rising and illuminating you in its unholy light.
but only if the sun sends a challenger to confront me.
But only if that challenger is also you.
But only if I can overcome that influence.
But only if you don't know which you overcomes it.
But only if the balance is broken.
And that was how it happened.
That was how it happened. I think that's a good scene.
And so it was.
And so it was.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Some shit happened. I'm not sure what it was, but we'll find out.
Yeah. So it is my turn.
XP.
Oh, yes, sorry. I am the worst at XP. Literally the worst.
You
As the
just
stars
want to
watched.
do
And the
narrative
moon's
stuff.
wept.
It's fine. I get it. Let's see. I mean, you are literally also the holy warrior of the sun, so sympathy for the mistake. And
Do I really care about myself?
I mean, it doesn't matter. You're showing sympathy for the mistake because you're fighting for them.
All right, sure, that's
And
fair.
I'll give you apathy as well because you don't know to not be apathetic.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll this shit. Oh no!
Okay.
All
All right, go down to 1-0.
And then one
Yeah.
more.
Hold on, I gotta move it because I don't do this rolling multiple dice at once thing. Every die is sacred.
Okay.
Okay.
Come on, get that one.
Roll experience.
All right.
Roll experience because you literally forgot what morals are.
I would also like to suggest that he gains that cool Aurora armor as a.
I mean, yeah, he gets Aurora
Yeah.
armor, but I also get.
Oh,
Yeah, we got a metagame.
I don't need any more traits. What's this shit?
You're just trying to get
Golden-
rid of all your traits.
We are.
Yeah.
Trying
Golden
to.
and I have this metagame going on if we can get rid of all of his traits.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can say whatever we want.
I know you want to get rid of them all, but
It's fine.
you can find
So he's got
All
Aurora
right,
armor,
I got Aurora armor.
them.
but the Auroras are mine.
Mhm.
Crap.
Episode 0, the best episode. Go back to the beginning. Like, let's play Polaris again.
Alright. I got this Aurora armor somehow.
Nice. It's a real mystery. No one is quite sure.
I mean, to be fair, what is the sun if not the biggest star?
I mean, technically correct, but this
I
is
mean,
mythology.
technically incorrect because it's really not that big.
Okay, good point. Good point. Okay.
I like in the Outer Scrolls universe, the stars and the sun are just holes in reality.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some awesome stuff.
Well,
All right.
so
Do I have to roll more XP, really?
I think that was it.
No, you're good.
All right.
That's it.
Alright.
As it comes to my turn, I am going to play as Aquala's Mistaken.
It's fine.
And I'm gonna do the scene that I would have suggested if you hadn't shut me down. So, and so it was that Aqualay, having used the travel mueller to return home, seeks out her close friend Microscopium, which, although under my control, you actually get to play.
Cool.
And meets him at his new residence. It's smaller than his old one, but it has enough room for him and his children. It's a little cramped for the children, though. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna play my character, and if there's anything you want me to say, or like a direction you want me to go in, feel free to direct as much as you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Or straight up take my character out of my hands. And
Well, since they were your heart, you technically have.
Yep, you always
control,
play them.
so.
But
Okay,
you know
cool.
what? You can. You know how to be a mistaken. It's fine.
I can still shove things in there. Don't worry.
perfect.
Microscopium, please answer the door.
It has been. I don't think we ever met up again after. Well, I took care of the. Things have gotten better since.
Have they gotten better? The remnant. People are getting sick again.
Well, I got sick too. I got pretty bad while you were gone, but then I think I got through to the other side of it.
Well, I am glad to hear that you have recovered. But I don't know what to do. I am at a loss. I quested so long to get that flower, that cure, and the place that I left it is ruins, and it is gone. I don't know how to help the people.
Aqualady, don't be so hard on yourself. These are trying times for all of us.
I come not here for your sympathy, but your expertise. You are a person who knows a great many things. You helped us divine the location of this cure. Is there more that we can do?
There's another flower.
That's what Microscopium said.
Is it the same as the first? Because if so, I do not trust that it will last long here either.
I don't know. It is rare and potent, and I don't know much about it. And Microscopium holds up his encyclopedia. This flower happens to be in one of the rare gaps in this book's knowledge.
Do you think I should go after it?
No, I think you should. Honestly, seeing as how I've gotten better myself, and so many resources were lost in the quest to get the first flower, and my information is not as good as the first time, I can only advise that you wait out the illness like I have, and you will come out the other side, just like I have.
Again, I speak not of my own of concern for myself. There are people who have died from this.
Well, I would give them the same prescription, honestly. If we had one flower, would it be enough for all of them?
It would have had they not torn down the temple. Though I understand it a blasphemy. It wasn't a temple when I left. It was simply a container.
You know, I barely even recognized the iconography as I went in. It's only in retrospect that I even noticed it was a temple to the sun at all.
So I think at this point, Arcturus butts in. He's like, wait, stop. Don't listen to him. He's been tainted. Can't you feel it?
Tainted? I take a step back. Microscopium.
Arcturus points his sword at Microscopium. It's a sword of midnight, right?
This is what Microscopium is doing with their hand. And the sword is like at their palm.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Are you holding it back, or are you like physically holding the sword, or is it just like no further?
I think I'm almost doing like a martial, like psychological maneuver where I'm putting my hand in front of the tip to make sure that they don't move. Because if they move, they're going to poke into my hand, and then the fight's going to start.
Okay.
Easy, friend. Microscopium and I have been long acquainted. What makes you say that he is tainted?
Can't you sense it? Every pure knight can tell when the mistake is near. This is no knight. Stands before us as a demon, manipulating you.
A demon that has taken the form of Microscopium, but...
I don't...
There's a whisper that only Aqualay can hear from the Phoenix. We can strike him out. And it's not entirely clear if the voice is talking about Arcturus or Microscopium.
Microscopium, the truth from you, I beg you. Have you fallen? Are you what this man says? If you have any love for me at all, speak the truth and speak it now.
Ice begins to come down from Microscopium's eyes, and he says, I am merely incompetent, not... I can't even remember what I was going to say next.
A liar?
I can't believe I've said those words about myself. That was an adjective that that's a strange adjective for me.
I can't tell if you're in character or not.
I am in character.
Okay. So real.
My immersion.
I don't know what to do. I don't know if Akule would be able to sense the mistake in you. What do you think? If we step back from the narrative for 1 second. I'm going to leave this up to you, Lavender, since Microscopium is your character.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can't detect it. I think that's more interesting.
Okay. I appreciate your counsel. Arcturus, please lower your sword.
Arcturus is a pure knight, he attacks.
Sorry, what was that?
I said Arcturus is a pure knight, he attacks.
Whom does he attack?
Microscopium.
But it was no matter. Hey. Have fun, yo.
Aw.
Okay, bye.
Cute.
Got it. Okay. Sorry for that distraction. Not sorry, but anyway. Where's my ritual phrase at?
But it was no matter.
He said, but
it was no matter. Yeah. As
we shall see what comes of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right then. So you were attacking Microscopium, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. What happens?
You do, but only if, and so it was.
What I'm trying to say is Lavender can jump in with an idea.
Okay.
I am going to hide behind Aquale because my sword is not at the ready.
I don't have a sword anymore, so that's fine.
Oops. Yeah. So, as Microscopium ducks behind Aquile, the sword misses him, and quickly he turns to Aquile.
But only if,
Mm-hmm.
in missing Microscopium, the blade instead strikes Aquile.
Then that's how it happened. Okay. So yeah, he turns quickly, and missing Microscopium cuts into Aquile, scoring her a deep cut, and he falls back a moment and says, "Do not harbor this demon."
Aquile's on the ground unconscious.
Yeah, all right. Well,
cool.
In that case,
Epic duel time.
Yeah, he's
two NPCs with no narrative authority.
I'm going to say then we don't see what happens.
Yeah, and
between
so
the two
it was.
of them.
That's it. You stab him, it falls down.
Yep.
There's like the yelling, but it's like you can hear it kind of echo and fade as the screen goes to black.
Perfect. I love it.
So good.
All right.
And
as the stars watched.
So it was. That's how it happened.
The moon's wept.
Whew. That was
It was good.
good. So
Here's my XP. Come on, I know I've earned it.
Yeah. So I definitely think that it's sympathy for the mistaken. That's obvious. I feel like there's also one in not fighting back. Like
Against who?
Against the knight. Well, see, that's complicated though, because if you had fought back, that also would have been XP.
I mean, here's the thing: I don't have anything to defend myself, and also, I didn't know. I had no information, so I was trying to de-escalate, right?
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they were two knights fighting, so I was trying to get them to not fight.
All right. I'll allow that. Well, then I'm seeing that one. It's Moons. Do you see another?
I don't think so. I don't see another.
Yeah, I'm not really. It's gonna be a little technical, but no.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I want that XP. If it was legitimate, I would have taken it happily. But
let's.
Another 6. Boo.
It's
really, like, I'm just so hopeful. My heart is swelling with hope.
It
like,
is.
Apathy is like complicated, right? Because apathy could mean like not caring about like big things, but also can mean like apathy over little things, like not caring who wins the duel.
True. I wouldn't say that she didn't care. I would say that she was conflicted because she didn't want the duel to happen at all.
That's fair.
Sounds fair.
Okay. Well, we've all had a go round. I would like to propose a short break, and then we'll come back for a little more. Where's my timer?
There's no time anymore.
There's no time. All right. We'll be back soon.